Hey guys, I'm back. This is the third part in my installation on series on my putting this S500 on my Cummins here, and I originally wanted to put my wastegate right here, but as you can see, the downpipe's a little bit in the way. It doesn't give me a real good center on here. If you had a regular wastegate without this huge cap, it'd probably work fine, but I did figure I was going to put it right about here. That way I can run it straight into the hot pipe and make everything work well. I'll probably end up cutting this thing out with a plasma cutter and then contouring everything so it flows nicely into there. And then I'll run it back into here. I'm going to try to run like a flex coupler in there. Hopefully that'll work out pretty well. We shall see. I did end up finishing the downpipe. Come on down here. It comes down all around. Comes out under the truck right there. Came out pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with it. So just got to finish weld that. And I've got started the exhaust over here. I don't know if you can see that real well. I've got the hangers done up a little bit over here. Got them welded on. I made sure to go underneath the pipe to help it support it better. I used the stock hanger in the back to kind of hold up the tailpipe. Not real happy with the angle on the tailpipe right now. I can adjust that with the pipe and everything so I can bring it up a little bit, but I do want to move it back a little. Like right here would be fine. I just kind of want to move it back a little bit further because it is banging into the spring there. So I'm going to try to bend the hanger there back forward a little bit, which should give me a little bit more room to move it up, and that should hopefully clear that out. And then I've got my piece of pipe here to make the rest of the exhaust. So everything should be working out here fairly quickly. This is just going to be a straight piece. I'm going to put a couple of band clamps on there, and things should work out. I'll get back to you once I start hacking on the wastegate there. I got to take that off and bring it in and start cutting on it. So that'll be my next project, and then I'll have to weld the V-band on there and make that other piping. Then I can send all this stuff out for powder coating. I've got my exhaust manifold off. I sent it out to the powder coater, and I've got my my AC lines all covered up in this DEI stuff. It's that thermal coating or line protector, and then I put some of the tape around the dryer right there. So hopefully all these lines are nice and protected from all the heat that they're going to be seeing now. I think it'll hold up nicely, so it's always worked well in everything else I've done. And then I also ran a 1/8 Teflon hose in here. That's for the new exhaust pressure gauge. That's going to be hooked up to the manifold that goes right before the turbo. That'll read how much pressure is actually driving that first turbo, and that'll kind of help me save my head gasket, make sure it'll help me size my wastegate, make sure it's the right size. If what you want is usually 1-to-1 on that, so if you're running 50 pounds of boost, you want to see 50 pounds of exhaust drive pressure. 1.5 is getting a little iffy, but you really don't want to go too much higher than that. If you do, you might want to get like a bigger wastegate or something like that. And then I've got that mounted on my column. I did move a couple of my other gauges. I can show you that real quick. So what I've got here now is I've got my I've got my boost gauge here. I've got my new exhaust pressure gauge here. So I had to move one of my other gauges that was down there, or in there, so I moved them down to here, which I really don't know why anybody doesn't make a pod for the 06, 07, 08 trucks. It'd be nice to be able to mount more gauges down here, but these are the two I got down here for now. I've got a fuel pressure gauge hooked up to my air dog, And then I've got my trans gauge down here now. I also do have a EGT gauge, which is right here. It's a 12 channel one. I'm only using half of them because I've got a 6-cylinder. I've actually got an EGT probe on each one of the cylinders, so I know exactly how hot each cylinder runs. I can tell you my number 2 cylinder is the hottest, and it's 6 degrees hotter than all the rest of them. I think having one of these gauges is a must. If you're worried about dropping an injector, you care about your motor, it is just a great peace of mind. I know when every temperature of every cylinder at any given time, and I've got a alarm set where this light will come on if it gets too hot, so that's kind of nice. I just finished up my exhaust too, and here it is. You can kind of see a little bit of it under there and a little bit of it over here. I got my hangers done and she's hanging out. And then we've got a nice big 6-inch stainless steel tip hanging off there. I think it looks pretty good for what it is. I also got the tip from a Heartthrob exhaust, so everything, all my piping came from there. I did take my spare tire out, so that's where I'm going to be mounting my battery. So, yeah, it's just chilling right over here. So, yeah, right up in there is where I'm going to put my new battery. Going to take out that spare tire holder. I think I'm going to end up running an Optima sitting on its side up there, so good things should be had by that. It shouldn't be too hard to run. There's a bunch of lines running down this side of the truck anyway, so that's where most of them are going to go. I'll probably run a ground line down the passenger side of the truck and put that on the motor. Hey everyone, I'm back, finally. Finals are over. I got some time to work on the truck. So here's what we got. It's all done. I just started it. Everything seems to be in good order. I don't see any leaks. No oil's leaking. So everything should be good to go. So the only thing that I probably haven't shown is the wastegate piping here, which comes off of the housing here, you see here, and then it kind of goes back to the back of the Y there, and it's got a flex thing on it, and it's a little tight here, but I'm really not caring too much. It should work just fine, and it's piped back into the hot pipe between the S400 and the S500, and this is kind of how it came out. Everything seems to fit okay. That's a little movement, but everything seems to be good. Here is the shot underneath. Everything's all, I've got all this heat barrier stuff on the AC lines, put a bunch of heat barrier tape on here, wrapped my down pipe, my hot pipe's all wrapped up too. You can see that back there. You can see the little ferrule there for my exhaust pressure gauge. There is the down pipe drain. This is a Cummins piece here. You can get this at any Cummins. It's the 51 millimeter. If you need the part number, I can get it to you. As you can see, it's up and running. I don't know if you can really hear me over the engine. I'll show you some of the stuff that's in here. Sorry it died on me before, but here we go. Here's some of the oil lines and stuff. You can see down there where everything all goes. And it's actually a lot quieter than I thought it was going to be. You can see my new exhaust there. And yeah, I'm going to go take it for a test drive. This didn't fit real well. I am going to have to move it a little bit. It's a little tight, but as you can see, it's snowing here. I'm not working on it until the spring. Nice and quieter in here. It's in cold start. I don't have a grid heater on here. One battery. It's like 34 degrees out. Start it right up. she's just trying to warm herself up, but everything's doing pretty good. See the idle coming down. All my EGTs are pretty good. I'm only sitting at 217, 215. It's my highest one. There's all my other gauges. Pop the other one on. There we go. But yeah, pretty happy with the way it turned out. It sucks it's so cold now, I can't really do anything. I still need to trim up a little bit on that inner fender well there. It's not going to be a whole lot. I'd probably say like a 4x4 piece. Might come out of that plastic, then I might just throw some tinner's rivets in there, a little piece of tin behind it. Paint it black, might work. We'll see how much I actually got to take out of there. But that's that. Thanks for watching. Gonna be doing some more videos on this thing. Believe it or not, this thing's still on its factory transmission, so I'm going to be rebuilding the transmission. We're putting a triple disc torque converter in it, custom valve body, billet intermediate input output shafts, and a billet drum. So we're going to go through the whole thing, do the whole works. I've got an ATS, if you haven't seen it on there, I've got an ATS dual fueler on there. I've got an install video. I still haven't finished that up. I'll be putting that out here pretty soon. Just been stuck with everything in time. And then I bought a project car. I don't know if you guys are into it or not. It's kind of older. It's a gas engine, but it is turbocharged and it is all-wheel drive. Well, it's twin turbocharged actually. So I don't know if you guys want to watch that on this channel. If you do, put it down in the comments. If you don't, say you don't down in the comments too. I'll kind of take a look at them. But coming this spring, I may be adding some of that content on here, along with rebuilding the trans in this thing, and whatever else comes this thing's way. The only thing I really got left to do on this is I want to put billet rods in it and a girdle, and then O-ring the head, or firing the head and block. So I mean, there's really not a whole lot left to do on it. I've got about a year and a half left in school, so I was going to try to wait the year and a half to do the engine stuff. But the transmission stuff's going to get done regardless. And yeah, well, let me know what you guys think, and see you in the next one.